Welcome to Book Bites with Rebecca and Rebecca.
Whetting your appetite for your next read.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Book Bites, where we are giving you a tasty treat for your day and something to whet your appetite for your next read. I'm Rebecca Reed from rural Indiana, and this is my partner in books, Rebecca Yager from Dallas, Texas. How are you today?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We have a different show today for Book
We
Bites.
We're super excited about this. This is our first industry guest, so we're doing something really interesting and trying to kind of add a little variety to our show. This is Emma Faye. Welcome, Emma. We're so glad you're
You.
here. Emma is a audiobook narrator, among other things. And we're super excited because, if you follow our show at all, I am the audiobook lover of the pair. I listen to almost every book that I read. So this is perfect for me. And I'm super excited to have her here. Emma, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and give our audience a little bit of background about you?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been an audiobook narrator for about 7 years. Prior to that, I've been an actor my whole life, really. So that's kind of how I transitioned into audiobooks. And I've just been an avid reader my entire life. So it's kind of a dream come true to read books for a living. It's a lot more than just reading a book, but at its core, that's what it is, and it's the best job in the world. So yeah, I have about 165 audiobooks on Audible, and I specialize in clean reads. So my tagline is the Clean Reads Queen, so books that are not explicit in language or content. So yeah.
Which is exactly the kind of books we like to read as
Yay!
well. So this definitely fits right up our alley. So I guess a question that I have is, how did you get, well, you kind of answered how you got started, but like a little more specifically, like um, what what I don't even know how to ask this question. I know kind of what I'm trying to think of, but it's like I guess maybe what do audiobooks bring to the reading experience? Let's go with that one.
Yeah, no, that's a great
Good
question.
question.
I mean, and I can talk a little bit about like what drew me to it as well. So being an actor my whole life, I love performing in every aspect. I'm from LA. I trained in LA, the Hollywood thing for a while as a child. I ran a community theater out here in Utah for many years. I love performing in just about all its forms. And I'm also an avid reader, as I said, and I used to commute a lot, and I did audiobooks during those commutes, and it dawned on me, oh, this is acting. It took far too long for me to make that connection. But once it did, I was like, wait, I can do this. I have those skills. I've been training to be an actor my whole life, so let's give this a try. Um, and I am so drawn to audiobooks myself for that performance reason, because just to hear the performance, hear the narrator bring it to life, just bring it off the page is just so it's exhilarating for me. I mean, I love reading, but to hear it in my ears is just it's like a movie in my head. And it just makes it so much more exciting for me to listen and imagine. I'm a very imaginative reader. I imagine in movies. And so anytime I'm reading a book, it's a movie in my head. And so when I can hear the narrator doing the voices and really getting into the text, it just helps the movie in my head become even more spectacular. So that's what I love about it. I know some people don't love audio because of that. They want to imagine it all themselves. But for me, it helps me to imagine it even better.
I'm totally with you because I think when I hear it, one thing I like about it too is you get a feel for, the setting
Yeah,
through the voices. And you don't always get that from just reading it off the page.
right.
I mean, and I especially when there's some sort of accent involved and you can actually hear that, that just
Yeah.
makes it so much better
Or learn
for
how to pronounce
me.
words that you won't have
That
any
That's what I
too.
idea.
was going to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, especially character names because you look at them and you're like, even when the authors try to like say, okay, this is how you pronounce it, they kind of give you
Yeah,
those clues. It just isn't the same. So
absolutely.
I do appreciate that. What is it like when you're reading someone's work? Um, how do you make sure that you're staying with the vision that the author had?
Yeah. As an actor and a reader, I feel that we are kind of specially prepared for that because as an actor, I've spent my life diving into characters and understanding them from like a character development point of view of like who they are and how to portray them authentically. I was also an English major, and so I've spent a lot of time doing, diving into text and understanding writing and those types of things. And so a lot of us actors are avid readers, and I think we're just uniquely set up to be able to do audiobooks for that reason because we can dive into the text in a way that the average reader may not understand the subtext and all of that, which is great. I mean, they don't need to when they're just a casual read for fun. But I try really hard to honor the author's intent. It can be challenging sometimes as we know, there's multiple ways to interpret a line, and so sometimes it's well, this is how I interpret it, and I don't always get a chance to talk with the author or anything, and so I give it my best go, and most of the time it's correct, and even if it's not, again, it can be interpreted multiple ways, so that's how I interpreted it, and it's usually not a problem there. But in terms of like voices. I get that question a lot is how do you come up with voices? And my answer to that is that I really don't. It's not about coming up with voices, it's about honoring the text. The author tells me what the voice sounds like. And obviously, within my own vocal instrument, there's only so much I can do within that. But I take the cues that the author gives within the text to bring that voice out. So while I'm doing my prep, so I read the whole book ahead of time, which is another common question I get
Mhm.
is do we prep it? Do we read it? So we read the whole thing and I make notes of all the characters. So I make a list of who the characters are, what their relationships are, any sort of vocal description and any kind of personality description so I can really figure out who they are, what their motivations are, and how they would speak and how they would carry themselves. Because we know physically that changes your voice as well. And so I get to work with, I love when authors give like really physical descriptions because I'm like, yeah, I can see that. And then I can get my body into whatever shape that is. So,
I
That's
love that. I love the respect you're giving the author as Rebecca and I as writers.
yeah,
Appreciate that. It's
you
our
guys are amazing to me.
blood, sweat, and tears into the
Yes.
text. But the fact that you take so much time with it too, and you read it as a
Yeah.
reader and as someone about to interpret it.
Yeah.
Um, that's really cool. I just,
Thank you.
I think we appreciate that. And it's like, you don't want, I'm sure authors never want a narrator that's going to destroy their.
Yeah, exactly. We're just phone it in. It's so much more than just reading. It's performing. It's really understanding who these characters are and as an actor, we're trained like sometimes we have to get into the antagonist's head. We have to be the bad guy and they're the hero of their story and so we can't just give them a bad guy voice, they've got to they have a story too. So, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
with over 100 books or however many you've done, you must be doing something right.
Thank you.
I can tell you that. I mean, I was just saying I have listened to some of her books. So from an audiobook listener standpoint, if you are considering a book that Emma has narrated, please go ahead because it's the narration is not going to be the problem. If there's a problem, it would might be something else, but it's not going to be the narration.
A narrator can make or break a book for sure. So,
Yes.
and on the flip side of things, there's some books that aren't the most polished or in their writing, and sometimes those are really challenging books to narrate at times. But sometimes at the end, they're one of the ones I'm most proud of because I feel like I've been able to give it a level of bring it up a level in the performance and kind of help it make a little bit more sense than maybe it didn't quite on the page so much. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Definitely a good narrator can make a book more listenable,
Yes.
if that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is now. Anyway, I like to make up words.
You're an author. You're allowed to.
I
Yeah,
guess.
she's also a school teacher. So she's educating our young.
I
Well,
make up words in class occasionally too, but usually they're in Spanish and half of the kids never know.
I love that.
Teasing. I
But
guess in thinking about audiobooks, and I'm an old broadcast girl. I was in radio and television for a lot of years. In the for radio, it's like the old radio theater
Hmm.
things from way back,
Yeah,
before television. I'm going way back.
I love radio
So it's
theater.
kind of a way to revive
It is.
the old theater
And
things.
that's coming back, actually, with the rise in podcasts and audiobooks. Audio dramas are becoming a really popular thing now. I actually had an opportunity this past year to produce an audio drama. I actually, in addition to narrating myself, I run an audiobook production company. And so I hire narrators to do other books as well. And so my company produced a Christian audio drama about artists throughout history and their stories of faith. And it was really neat. So we had over 20 actors and sound effects and just in the vein of the traditional radio dramas. So that was really exciting.
Oh,
well, that's neat.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
So do publishers approach you, authors approach you? How do you get your jobs? Is that
Yeah. I work both with indie authors and publishers, kind of 50-50. It's a good mix of both. I love working with both. Publishers are really great to work with. It's nice to just kind of do my job and send it off, and they do everything else, and I don't have to worry about it, which is wonderful. I've worked with some amazing publishers: Scholastic, Simon and Schuster, Dreamscape, Christian audio, some really amazing books come out of those. And then on the flip side, I have the absolute pleasure of working with indie authors. And on that side of things, while it's a little bit more work because I have to hire out my editor and sometimes I have to walk the author through it,
Mhm.
it is so rewarding because I get to talk to the author and I get to ask them about their characters and who they think they are, things that maybe not, aren't on the page. And we
Mhm.
can talk about pronunciations and those types of things. And I just love the excitement indie authors have over their books. I mean, you have to. If you're going to go through all the work of being an indie author, you're going to be passionate about what you're doing. And I love sharing in that passion. So I love working with indie authors.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I could see how it would be quite different working with those two different entities
Yeah,
because, yeah, as an indie author, I understand, it's like you have to be your own best cheerleader or else, nobody else
exactly.
is gonna
Yeah,
nobody else
you're
is
wearing
gonna do
all the
it.
hats.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Well, where can we find you? How do people find the books that you've narrated and all of that stuff? So,
Yeah, so all my books are on Audible, so you just type in MFA, you'll be able to find them. I suggest sorting most recent to oldest because you get better year over year, as I'm sure authors experience as well. You can also visit my website, emmafaynarrates.com. You can hear samples, and if you're interested in booking me, you can find my contact information there. And so those are two great ways to find it. A lot of my books are also available through other distribution methods, so in libraries. Chirp audiobooks is my favorite as a listener. I love Chirp. So I do
mhm.
have, I think maybe about 100 on Chirp. So not all of them go that direction, but I love to go wide as the industry term. So yeah, you can
Yeah.
find them in quite a lot of places. So
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to spell your last name because part of this is um, audio only, and
yeah,
it's
thank you.
Emma Faye, Faye.
Yes,
Um, Make sure you don't miss that E on the end so
thank
we
you.
can
Yeah.
find you again
Yeah.
and stuff. Well, Emma, I have a feeling we could talk to you for a long time.
Hmm.
I love talking about audiobooks. So
Well,
Well,
it
we
shows.
definitely appreciate your time and
yeah.
appreciate you coming on and sharing with us because I think this is a fascinating thing. And audio, as we all know, is growing rapidly. And so I think more and more people are going to be listening to books in the future. Um, as a listener, I just want to say that if you're one of the people who aren't quite comfortable with audiobooks, you kind of have to train yourself to do it. I think it's something that if you do it, it's just like a lot of things, right? If you do it more, you listen more, and start with the slower speeds, you'll be able to, get used to it. And then, because I don't listen on one anymore, I
Yeah,
can't listen on one
actually.
anymore.
I don't even
Um,
listen on one when I listen.
And I mean, but if, it does take, you just have to train yourself to do it. And once you do it, then you'll realize that you can be reading while you do all the other
Yes.
things, which is what I do. So,
The best.
yeah.
Yeah, and definitely try more than one narrator. I mean, because not every narrator you're gonna jive with, and that's okay. So try a different
Hmm.
one and see what works. But yeah, I listen nonstop. I mean, that's when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm doing laundry,
Hmm.
when just around the house, taking a walk. Like it's
Yep,
the best. So
I agree. All right. Well, thank you so much. And we are so grateful that everybody has tuned into this episode, and we hope to see you for the others. Remember, Book Bites is on every other Wednesday, and in between we have our reviews and our interviews with authors, our longer interviews. So tune in for those as well. You can find us on RebeccaandRebecca.com or on Instagram at Rebecca and Rebecca Reviews. And we hope to see you back here very, very soon.
Take care, everyone.
thank you.
Thanks.